My name is Natalie, and we are with Diane John, who is an SLP, who used to work for Early Access, and I have a few questions for Diane. Diane, how long were you with Early Access, and what was your role?
I did early access for approximately 10 years.
And what was your role?
As a speech-language pathologist, I served on a team with other early access team members, home interventionists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, as well as a case coordinator.
Okay. And what did you enjoy most about Early Access?
Working right at the level of the families. I also worked in the school as a speech-language pathologist, so you saw the kids once they got into school, so being able to see kids in their own home environment prior to school was very interesting to me, and the dynamics of the home with the parents.
Very interesting. What was most challenging for you about working in Early Access?
Interesting. What I liked most is also what was most challenging. You know, you would come in with ideas that you wanted the families to be able to carry out, and everybody's at different levels of engagement with their children. And so to be able to see the quicker change that sometimes you see in the school level, it takes a little bit longer in the home. And it sometimes depends on where the parents were at. Parents are wanting a service or not necessarily, or confused by it, or just not understanding that. So there's a lot of teaching and coaching that needs to happen.
And how did you often try to reach the parents?
So we would often, there was usually once a week somebody was coming into the home, and I would go maybe twice a month. It depended on the case and what the kid needed.
One of our last questions we have is, how has Early Access changed throughout your career?
Right, so currently the model is now more of a coaching model, which I think probably would help the area that I thought was a concern earlier. Now you're really trying to coach more with the parent. Previously, you would really provide your service to the child. Now you're providing the service to the family, who's going to really be able to carry what you were trying to do out throughout the times that you're not there. And that's why I think this is probably a better model that they're going with than the previous one that I was experienced when I was in early access.
Okay. And what recommendations do you have for future speech-language pathologists who are interested in working in Early Access?
Right. So I think that you need to understand your developmental milestones very well, because you're working with that age category, and life changes quick for them. And so understanding where they're at and what you need to go to next would be important to do, as well as to have flexibility with the families that you're going to work with, because they come in lots of different shapes and sizes, and different than maybe your perspective of how you grew up and how your home life is. And you have to meet them where they're at in order to really help them understand developmental milestones, and also to be flexible in what they think is important and as their family, which may be a little bit different than what you think from your background.
Thank you for sharing your expertise.
Thank you, Natalie.